preference, or not preference, just so you know, it's Andrea.
Andrea.
Yes.
Oh, I was totally going to say Andrea.
Yeah, everybody does. It's
Andrea.
okay.
Andrea?
Like
okay,
the whitest
cool.
way you
How
can
you say your last name?
Russett.
Russet.
Like a russet
Oh my
potato.
God, I totally got it wrong. I was like Andrea
Russett.
Russett.
Yep.
Okay, Andrea Russett.
Yes.
How's LA?
LA?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And
very
during
different.
a pandemic.
Very different from Indiana. I grew up in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana.
Yeah.
Right.
Middle of nowhere.
Where's that? That's like in the middle? Is that in the middle? Is that like more?
It's Midwest. Do you know where Chicago is?
Yeah.
So it's like 3 hours. If you're in Chicago, you drive 3 hours down.
What's in there?
A lot of corn.
Really?
Amish people.
Were you like in a small town?
It's the second largest city, but I mean, that's not saying much.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty small.
It's pretty small.
We had a lot of Amish people.
Really?
Like our parking lots had stables for horses.
Wow.
That's my favorite fact to tell people.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's not. It smells like horse poop.
Really? It seems very country, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you into that lifestyle? The country lifestyle? Outdoors,
No,
I bet?
No. That's why I moved to LA. I moved a week after I turned 18. I just got out of there as quick as I could.
What were you doing at the time? Were you like doing YouTube at the time?
I was doing YouTube. I started YouTube when I was like 13. So I was like...
Oh, really?
A wee tot.
That was you. Wow. Because you're 25 now. So 13 was... There was YouTube back then?
I know. Well, it was. I mean, nobody was making money. It was like like when Shane Dawson was like the only one on there. It was like the very beginning. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What was it like? Why did you start making videos?
It was mostly out of boredom. I mean, if I'm being honest, I started because Justin Bieber was on YouTube, and I was like, I want to be his girlfriend. And he held a contest that was like, if you make a music video to my first single, you could win a chance to meet me. And so I put my heart and soul into that video for 3 weeks, and I didn't win. But the video blew up, so I just like kept making it.
Did it actually?
Got 3 million views, which at the
time...
time...
Wow, that's a lot for back then. That's like very big.
I remember I woke up and it had like 1,000 views, and I was like, Justin Bieber's my boyfriend. He's going to see this, and we're going to fall in love.
You got 3 million and you didn't win? No. That sucks.
I'm not bitter at all.
Is that video still up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's painful.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so old too. That's such an old video. So you just kept going after that? You're like, okay, I'll just keep going?
Yeah, so I started just making more music videos, and then started vlogging. And then the local like top 40 radio station in my hometown found my YouTube channel, and they're like, you're insane. You should be on the radio. So I started working at the radio, and then from there it just snowballed.
So like, wait, how old were you? Like 14?
I was 15 when
15.
I started working at the radio station.
Wow, what did you do?
I was interviewing like One Direction.
Are you serious?
Ed Sheeran. I was that bitch.
Wow. From that one video?
And then I'd show up at school the next day and be like, hey guys, what'd you do over the weekend?
One Direction. I was with One Direction.
Just casual.
Wow, did you actually have 15? That's so cool.
That was the first and only like job that I ever had.
Oh, really? Since then?
Yeah.
That's so crazy how that happens.
Right?
Like, if you become a YouTuber, you totally might not have, like, a normal job for, like, a very long time.
Yeah. I never even graduated high school.
Really?
Never went to a school dance. I was like, I guess this is my life
now.
Wow.
So you just went, like, straight with the YouTube grind? How far into high school did you get?
I went to, like, actual school till my sophomore year. And then I did a year of online school. And all I had left was 1 year, and I was like,
no,
nah.
No, it's not happening.
Not.
Really? So you're like junior. So you were like, what, 16, 17?
I think I was like 19.
Oh, really?
But I got held back in kindergarten. That's a whole other story. So I was oldest in my grade.
Really?
Yes.
You got held back in kindergarten? How did that happen?
I don't know.
That's possible?
Like, I guess I wasn't coloring in the lines or something. Like, how does that even happen?
They didn't let you go?
Like,
that's mean.
I
That
know.
is mean. That's actually mean.
I was always the oldest kid.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So are you ever going to complete high school?
I don't know. I could go get my GED, but like...
Seems so easy. Like, online school, probably like 4 months, you'd be fine.
It seems easy.
I guess so.
Because
you got to remember everything.
Like geometry, if you put a math problem in front of me, geometry-wise, it's just not happening.
No, I know, me too.
It's not happening.
No, it's not. It's hard. It's hard. I bet, because if you leave high school, even after like 1 year, you come back and like you don't know anything.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, like, to do it online seems like...
I mean, you could just Google it.
I guess so.
Not that I endorse that.
No cheating, but
Unless.
you know. Wow. So you just like went, like, you were 17, and then like YouTube was kind of blowing up, right? What was happening with that?
When I was working at the radio station, obviously those interviews were helping my channel like immensely. If I was uploading videos,
did you plug your channel?
Oh yeah, I uploaded them to my channel.
Oh,
the
was it just like you interviewing them? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so that was really cool. And then from that, I started flying out to LA like every weekend and doing things here and there with Awesomeness TV. And
They were big back then.
they were huge.
Yeah, they were like, I remember that.
That was like the channel.
Yeah, the phase.
So yeah, I started doing that stuff, and I was like, you know what? I really want to just move out here and like pursue acting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turned 18, and I was like, I'm out.
Wow. You were making money with YouTube at the time?
Yeah. So that's when YouTube AdSense monetization started up. And it wasn't a ton of money, but I was like young.
Was it like enough to support yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
and I
cool.
was being paid by Awesomeness, so it was like I was saving up enough where I could move out.
Wow, entrepreneur, multiple incomes,
No.
not bad. Wow, okay. So then your parents were just cool with it?
Yeah, my parents are both very creative people. They're
Really?
both like painters, so they're
Oh,
very
wow.
much like, do what you want to do.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank God, because I know a lot of people that their parents are like, you're going to college.
Yeah, and they just let you. They saw it was up.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So then you like moved to LA, like all by yourself. Yeah. Did you know anyone here?
I knew Gen X Pen.
Oh my God, she was like an OG too.
Yep. So
yeah.
we moved in together.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then I knew all of O2L
Uh-huh.
and like that little crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we were here, we all started branching out and meeting other people.
Wow. So you moved in with Gen X Pen, and like, well, you guys made videos together. I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Wow, that must have helped your channel though.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It
Yeah.
was awesome. That was like such an awesome time.
How big was your channel like at this time?
I think I was close to hitting 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, it was like, that was huge.
What year was that? That was like what, 2014, 2013, 15?
Fuck, I don't know. It could be. It
Could be.
any of
It's
those.
one of those. It's one of those. Sounds like
Somewhere
awesome
around
as
that
TV.
time.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then like, what, you just decided you wanted to like go into acting, right? Like, did you get some acting gigs?
So I started doing acting. I did the movie Expelled with Cameron Dallas through Awesomeness
I think I remember that. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
You know.
Okay.
And then I did a few things here and there, but over time I just realized that acting wasn't really my passion. Gave me more anxiety.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
It was cool, but there was a lot of pressure that came with it, and the process of going to auditions and being told no, like you're not the look we want, which doesn't mean like you're not good enough. It just means we're looking for a different look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to hear that over and over again. And then the stuff I did book, to see yourself on camera on a big screen and like all these other people just judging it, just kind of destroyed my self-esteem.
Wow.
So I decided to remove myself from that.
Wow. You did not like it at all, really? That's so interesting. Was it hard? Like, did you have any acting experience, or you just like?
I didn't have any acting experience. I did a few acting classes here and there, but yeah, I just kind of jumped into it.
Oh wow.
But I like memorizing things weirdly, so I
Really?
enjoyed that part, and I enjoyed when I was on set and actually working. I enjoyed it, but it was just like the in between and the pressure of like, don't fuck this scene up, like
yeah,
all the
so much
cameras are on you.
pressure.
Yeah, the pressure
That's
is
so
crazy.
Yeah, like I imagine it. Like, it seems fun, right? Like, you guys could be like friends and like all that, but then like
Yeah.
you have like 5 cameras on you, directors, the whole
Yeah.
crew's like in
And
front
it's
of you.
exhausting. Like
Mhm.
12-hour days, and you're like on
High
these,
energy.
the lights are on you too.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have the same energy for each take. It's like it's a lot.
That seems so crazy because like so many like of us are like, yeah, I want to be an actor, but then
I'm
like,
like, do ya?
oh, so much work.
I'm like the old person that's like, no, you don't,
No, you
kid.
don't.
Don't do it.
I've been through it. Oh wow. Did you like? So you watched your own movies?
I wasn't going to, and then I watched Expelled. I actually didn't even go to the premiere of Expelled.
Why not?
I skipped out on it because I was like, I don't even want to see this shit. Man, I was nervous. I was also, at the time, I didn't like my appearance. I was like a lot heavier then, and I watched it eventually, and it literally just destroyed my self-esteem even more. And so then I was like, you know what? I think maybe we just gonna not do this
Not do
anymore.
it. Really? Were you proud of like the movies you made?
Yeah, I think I did the best with what I could in the situation I was put into. I gave it my all. I never half-assed anything, but I'm also just like a perfectionist, and I want
Yeah.
everything I do to be like the highest degree
It's
of
like-
perfection.
Like very. It's hard to manage it because I think YouTubers, like when they go into acting, it's like so much judgment. I mean, like,
Mhm.
oh, the bad YouTuber movies and stuff.
Yep.
Like, did that get to you? Did you get any of that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was always like, oh, just another YouTuber that wants to be an actor,
Mm-hmm.
which gets old. But it's like, what do you expect? It's like,
It's
you can't
natural.
do YouTube
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get why they do that. They're like, you're a YouTuber, stay in your lane. Like, they expect you to do the same thing. It doesn't make
Especially
sense.
since I've been doing it for 10 plus years. It's
Mhm.
like, how can you expect anybody to want to do the same thing for 10 years and not burn out or just get over it or want to grow and evolve? I
Do
feel
other
like
things.
that's just so unrealistic.
Yeah, and like YouTube is just like a stepping stone, really.
Exactly.
For some reason people don't realize that. I think that's like your whole life. It's
Yep.
like, you know.
And it's just so different now. Like, I just, YouTube ain't the same when I was a kid.
Yeah, how's YouTube now? Oh my god, I know you're getting like so much shit because like you only post sponsored videos. I'm like, the fact that you admit it, dude, you're like,
I'm honest with it, okay? I'm
Yeah.
not lying about it.
at least you're honest with it. Like, oh my god, the YouTubers that don't even try to hide it.
I know.
And they come back once a year, that guys, I just love
I've
making
missed
videos
you
for you guys.
so
Yeah.
much. Also, I'm being paid this month.
This is sponsored by.
Yeah, the last video I uploaded, I was like, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm only back because I'm sponsored.
You're right.
And you're right.
Yeah, oh my god, that was so funny. But like the comments are flaming you.
I know. I don't even read them anymore.
Really?
I literally upload, log off, and never look again.
It's like, oh my god, it's like uploading an Instagram picture, you know? Like you don't just
You
upload and then go
run away.
and then maybe come back like a
Yeah.
week later or something.
When you're stable enough.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So what's that like? What's happening with YouTube? It's like not into it anymore, burnout?
Well, originally, before coronavirus happened, I took a year off of YouTube to kind of just like focus on music because that's what I'm passionate about and that's what I really want to be doing. So this year I had planned to be touring, putting out music, doing shows and stuff like that, but obviously that can't happen right now. So I've had to kind of go back to YouTube when I need a little cashola, you know?
Yeah.
So like I don't want to be doing
It's
that.
expensive in LA.
Insane. Studios aren't cheap.
Uh-huh.
So I do feel bad and guilty, but at the same time, I can't force myself to like upload something when I'm just not feeling it. That's what I will never do is like force myself to be like, hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be trying this trend.
Yeah.
And just see the
It's
misery
so
in my
draining.
eyes.
Like afterwards, you turn off the camera and you just realize like,
Right?
this
You
is
hit record and you're like, ooh. You just sit
yeah.
there.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it's like really not like you're just not into it. Like you're completely like.
I just feel like I'm not a YouTuber anymore. And I also see what YouTube is now, and I just don't like.
Don't relate to it as much.
I don't relate to it. I see what does well. Not to say that there isn't a ton of amazing YouTubers that put positive things out there that do well, but there is a lot of like drama fueled negativity that like that's what does well, unfortunately, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I just can't.
And how do you feel about like the quote unquote like clout chasers just collaborate, you know, just to grow each other's channels and then like that's it. That's superficial.
Thankfully I can say this. I have never been the person to just collab with someone that I like don't know at all just for their numbers. Like
Really? That's good.
Yeah, well, it's also like so you can see right through it. Like when
Really?
you're watching,
Is it obvious?
Maybe just because I'm a YouTuber, so I like know the background of what's actually happening. But I feel like when I watch videos, I'm like, they don't know each other at all. This is very awkward for them. But
Wow.
yeah,
It's very weird 'cause, like, I guess on camera they always look so, you know, friendly and stuff, and then like afterwards they have a fallout and they're like, you were just using me for clout. And it's so like crazy to think, wow, that whole thing was fake. So I guess they are good actors. Maybe that's why they go into acting.
exactly. You cracked the code.
Yeah, maybe that's why. So then,
Yeah.
when did you get into music? Like, have you been into music your whole life?
I have always loved music. Even working at the radio station, I loved every part of it. Seeing the artists come in that were just like starting off and getting their first radio show, everything about it I loved. But I always thought like I can't be a music person, like I can't sing. But once I started like posting stuff here and there, and people were like, "Yo, this is really good. You should keep at it." Kind of helped build my confidence a little, and then I would write songs here and there, and like finally build up the courage and show a friend. And they're like, "Dude, pursue this." And so last year, after doing the acting stuff and really just not being happy with it and not being happy with YouTube, I promised myself that I was going to just like go for it, try it. And if it fails and I suck at it, fine. At least I can say I tried and I don't have that regret of never trying and never knowing. And so far, so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, how's it going? Like, have you like barely starting out? Have you made any songs?
We've been writing and recording a ton. Hopefully I'll have my first single out within a month.
Wow. That's cool.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're working on an EP.
An EP. That's exciting.
Very exciting, very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, the cool thing about music is that it just moves so fast, you know?
I
like,
know.
You could be releasing your first EP and like maybe like one song blows up, like that's
I
it.
know. Especially with TikTok too. You just
Oh,
need to
that's true. So
have your-
exciting. Are
I
you on
know.
TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. I feel like I'm way too old to be on TikTok. But I'm on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. I really cannot believe you're 25. Like I totally
know,
thought you
I
were like
can't
22.
either.
Oh my god, what's it like not being a teenager? Like seriously, I can't imagine myself not being a teenager.
I feel like it's been centuries since I was a teenager.
Really?
I feel like it's been centuries since I was 21, like since I could legally drink. I just feel like in the last like 3 or 4 years, I've just grown and learned so much about life.
Wow.
I'm a ball of wisdom now.
How were your teenage years? Were they good? Were they bad? Were they
Full
rough?
of turmoil. I was an angsty teen.
Really?
Yeah, I
Rebellious?
was a scene kid, so I had like the bangs.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was
okay.
very rebellious. I definitely got, I mean, I was underage, so I didn't get arrested, but like cops took me in all the time for like minor consumptions and stuff like that. I was definitely a rowdy kid.
Uh-huh. And like what did you ever get like in like serious trouble because of it?
No,
Or
I mean,
was just like
I was young enough, thankfully, that it was like learn from this and do better.
Did you like get better or
Oh yeah, yeah.
really?
I mean,
What was the change?
I think it's because I was going to like private Catholic high school at the time too.
Oh,
yeah,
that breeds evil.
Yes,
Ironically,
I'm saying. And yeah, I was like closeted at the time too, and I was a very creative person in a school full of like very conservative, like buttoned up people, and I just didn't belong, and so I was lashing out in other ways. I feel like.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very ironic that Christian schools.
I know.
So you came out like what, a year ago? 2 years?
Either a year and a half, or we might be coming up on 2 years.
You're bisexual, right?
Yes.
How was that whole experience?
It was a lot.
Mm.
I came out to my parents because it was like a fucked up situation. I came out to my parents because my roommate that I was living with my best friend for like 4 years, randomly told me that I'm going to hell for being bisexual a week before she was moving back to Chicago.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
You told her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she knew for years. But she waited until she was moving away to tell. I don't know. The whole thing's
Okay.
fucked up. So I was like freaking out. I was having a mental breakdown. I was also a little tipsy at the time. And so I called my mom and I was like, hey, I'm bisexual. Also, this just happened. What do I do? So
That is brave.
that was a lot.
How did your mom react? Was she supportive?
Oh,
Not?
of course. Yeah, my mom and dad are super supportive, super accepting. My sister, when it came out to her, I was like, hey, I'm bisexual. And she was like, hey, me too. I was like, bet. All this time?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it
That's
was
like the
awesome.
best feeling, I bet.
was
So relieving,
awesome.
comforting. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Wow. How did you figure out that you were bisexual?
It took a while because where I grew up and obviously going to private Catholic school, I didn't even know that bisexual was a thing. I thought it was either you're straight or you're gay. And because I still was attracted to guys, I was like, all right, okay, this is okay. I'm not gay because I still like guys. But she's really pretty. What's going on with that? And then when I moved to LA and I was around more people that were like open-minded and very vocal about their sexuality, it helped me understand. And there was a lot of just like self-exploration and just like reading other people's stories. And then I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds like me.
And like, oh wow, so you came out when you were in LA, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that was like at the peak of the coming out stories too,
I know.
right?
I was like, let me in on this.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Was there besides, that one girl that said you should go to hell, was there anyone else that was like, not about that?
I mean, I'm sure there's always people that are like give their opinion that is never asked for, but I just don't really look that much. I got so many overwhelming messages of support and just like, you helped me come to terms with my sexuality, that it was like any negativity I saw was just like didn't even matter.
Right. So nothing like too major besides
Yeah.
that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could get pretty bad. I don't know with sexuality, but like you're so lucky that you have supportive parents.
Yeah.
Like,
I do not take that for granted at all.
yeah, that is like big.
Huge.
So I know you've like openly talked about like mental illness, right? Like
Yes.
what did you struggle with? And what do you still struggle with, if there's any?
I have hella anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, hella anxiety. Both my mom and dad struggle with anxiety and depression, so I got both of them in the basket.
Oh wow.
But I've also had paranoia for a while because my house was broken into while I was home. So
Really? How old were you?
It was.
That was too casual.
I'm like, yeah, I was locked in the bathroom on the phone.
Yeah.
Why? What's up?
What happened?
It was 2 years ago, maybe 3 at this point. It was like 9 a.m, and I'm assuming people think that people are at work, but because I'm a degenerate YouTuber, I'm home all day.
Okay.
And so they smashed in the front door, which was all glass.
Oh.
And I heard glass shattering, so I like ran into my bathroom and locked the door and called 911. And then I heard people like running through the house, ripping TVs off the walls and that kind of stuff. So because of that, I did not sleep for more than like 2 hours at a time. I could only sleep when the sun was up, and I couldn't go, and I still kind of can't really go places where there's big crowds. It just freaks me out. But I couldn't go to movie theaters for a while. It just like that fear, because of that, I just never felt safe anywhere. So I had a lot of paranoia.
That's kind of interesting though, because you didn't feel safe when you were around people, which you would think you wouldn't feel safe alone.
Right? My mind went into like the panic of everybody wants to do something bad. And I also got this irrational fear of like, there's like going to be a shooter everywhere I go. I don't know why that stemmed from that, but it just like, so that spiraled. But I have been in therapy for that, and I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Wow. What's like, so you just felt like, is it similar to anxiety, or is it like a totally different?
It's like an anxiety times 10 because, for example, I went to a movie theater, or I mean, I feel like that's a common fear. I went to the DMV, and I was in line waiting to get up to the desk, and I saw someone who just like made eye contact with me like one too many times, and my mind went into the panic of like, he has a gun and he's looking at me because he wants to like hurt me, or like this is an unsafe situation, I need to leave, I need to go. And it just like spirals. It just spirals into like the most irrational thoughts.
And you can't control it. Like you can't like bring yourself out of it.
That time, that's when I was in therapy, like intense. And so I was able to like be like, you know what, we're just going to stick it out. Nothing bad is going to happen. And nothing bad did happen. I got my license that day. So it was worth it.
Yeah, that's good. And then like, what about anxiety? How did you figure out you have it? And like, what was that? How was that?
I always knew that I had anxiety because my mom and dad would talk about it a lot. And I was like, I feel that. But actually, this last like year and a half, I've really understood anxiety more because I feel like it was kind of taken up a notch, especially with the pandemic stuff. Because I'm a hypochondriac, we got a bag of issues, and so my anxiety has just been super high because of that, and it's been a lot.
What does it feel like?
It feels like panicky, and also like I can't stop my brain from like thinking a million things at once. Like, you know, when you just want to like pause it and have a moment and be like, you're good. That feels impossible.
What do you feel like? Do you feel like a pain in like your tight chest, like a butterflies in your stomach?
Definitely tight chest. But mostly, for me, it's mostly mental, where I'm like, I can't like even, I can look at something and I not even know what I'm looking at because I'm so consumed with what's happening in my mind. I'm just like not present.
Really?
It's a lot.
Wow. How do you deal with that? Is it like?
I originally was prescribed anxiety medication, but I actually decided to not go with the medication because I wanted to really give myself the opportunity to like dive into therapy and like meditation and like try these other natural routes before I go into medication, just because for me personally, not a huge fan of.
Without having to get like rely on it.
I don't ever want to have to rely on something. And so I've been working really hard with like that kind of stuff, and I feel like it's really helped me. I've been reading a lot of self-help books. I'm on a self-help train right now.
Yeah. How long have you been going to therapy?
I was going on and off for a while, and then I stopped, and then I picked it back up right when the pandemic started. So I was doing Zoom sessions. But I did this kind of therapy. It was like EMDR, I think. It's those letters. They might be rearranged. But it's sensory. It's meant for trauma. It's meant to rewrite your memories so you remember them differently and you're not like triggered every time you have a memory. And so I did that with the break-in stuff, and
oh wow,
it's crazy.
How does that work? What happened?
You close your eyes, and like there's different ones, but I do like the tapping. So like you'll close your eyes, think of the memory, talk about what you're feeling. It's all about mindfulness. Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking about? And then like you think about the worst part, and then you rewrite it with the good part, and you tap that in. Sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, it works.
Isn't it crazy how it's all in your mind? Like all of this, just the way you think about it.
Your mind is crazy. It's kind of awesome though.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want. Like it could either make it like so much worse or so much better.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you just like basically, because I'm assuming if you think about bad memories, you relive it, right?
I mean, everybody's different, but for me, when I thought about like the break-in, for example, if I really thought about it, I could bring myself back to that state of like, I am unsafe and I need to get out of wherever I am. But now when I think about it, like how I just brought it up casually, it's like it doesn't have that effect on me anymore. I'm like, yeah, that happened and that was insane.
Yeah.
But it doesn't control my life and the way I act every day.
Do you think like just the fact that you talk about it more often helps you just like kind of like process it?
Definitely. With everything too. Anything in my life, the more I talk about it, the more or the less shocking it is too, because it's like the more you talk about something, the more normal it is and the more casual it becomes, I think.
Yeah, that's like very weird, but like it works somehow. So you also deal with depression, right?
Yes.
When did that start?
I remember being in like 7th or 8th grade and being like, I am really sad and I have no reason to be.
Middle school depression, yeah.
That's when it started.
Yeah.
But I never really understood it because my parents didn't really talk about depression as much as anxiety, but I knew they both had it. I didn't really understand depression until I moved out to LA, and really honestly reading about it, watching YouTube videos of other people talking about their struggles helped me understand my own. That was crazy.
What did you feel? Did you like, it was just like really bad depression, very deep? Or?
Yeah, I can go, like, I feel like it was waves for me. I mean, the last 3 months I've been the healthiest mentally I've ever been because I've just been really on my shit about like making sure I'm doing everything I do is working towards bettering my mental health rather than taking away from it. I've been like super aware
So like
of
you
that.
were struggling since like middle school up until like
yeah,
recently?
I mean ups and downs.
Ups and downs, right?
But in April I had a really bad depressive episode where it was like my best friend was calling my mom in Indiana being like, I'm worried about her. And so after that I woke up and I was kind of like, it's either I make a change and like really start to better this, or I just say fuck it and just keep living like this. And so thankfully I found the strength and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna like.
How did you find that? Was it just like you just decided, okay, it's gonna happen?
Dude, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, because at the time too I was doing a lot of self-medicating. I was smoking and drinking a ton, far too much, and I wasn't enjoying it, but it was easier than admitting that I needed to like put the work in and figure my shit out. But my parents and my friends were like so there for me and so supportive, and that really encouraged me to be like, all right, let's do it.
Wow. You ever feel like you wasted your life just being sad?
There's definitely times when I think about middle school where I'm like, damn. But I also feel like everything that I've done has led me to where I am now. And having those stories and emotions that I've like felt, it makes it easier for me to empathize with people and understand people better because I feel like I can relate more.
You've been through the worst. So you obviously made like a pretty like big Instagram post a while back, right? What was that?
So I posted that the day before my birthday, so like a month ago, almost exactly a month ago, where I talked about in April, that night where I was like, where my best friend had to call my mom and be like, hey, we're worried.
Really? What happened that night?
I was in the worst depression I've ever been, and I was like drunk and saying some reckless things and just caused a lot of worry, and it was not good. But at the same time, I'm like so, I don't know if thankful is the right word, but I feel like it had to happen for me to be where I am now. Like I feel like you have to
reach your lowest.
Yeah, you have to hit rock bottom before you're gonna be ready to be like, all right, I need to do something about this. Unfortunately.
And that night, like you were just like really
that
bad.
was rock bottom for sure.
Like in some real danger there.
Yeah.
Wow, and you told your friends that they were the ones that you were texting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like turned off my location. I was like, oh, it was not good.
So what happened? Like like your friends came over?
Yeah,
like
my friends came over. My mom called me, and it immediately like I snapped back to reality, and I was like, I can't be acting like this or saying these things. Like this is crazy, you know? Because depression really does. It just like it alters your reality, and it can totally change the way you think, and it's just crazy. It's crazy.
No, yeah. Like you're in the moment. Like you're totally. Do you ever feel like in your mind, like you shouldn't be saying that, yet you still say it?
Yep. Totally.
Like you're kind of aware you're in that state, but you just can't get out of it.
It's like the rational side of you is like deep back in the head, but the depression is just like so much stronger and louder at the time that it's just like speaking for you.
I don't care. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. So then like I'm assuming you decided to like open up about that. Like what inspired that?
I had never talked to my parents or even my closest friends that deeply about like even my darkest depression. So that night And then following like 2 weeks, I had to be really honest and just be like, this is what I'm feeling. I don't want to be feeling this way. Let's figure out something we can do to like fix this. And then after a couple months had passed, I decided I wanted to post that on my birthday because I had originally planned to not make it to that birthday. And so that birthday was just like really special to me. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I'd love to share this. And I felt like enough time had passed and I had talked about it enough where it wasn't as, like, I could talk about it without being like affected as much. It was more something I was proud to work past rather than something I was ashamed of.
So you just like, that's cool that you were open about it.
And it was so worth it to be open about it. The messages I got afterwards were just incredible. Like, so many people were like, I needed to hear this. This made me feel like I can get out of my depression. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah, I think that's like the best part about being vulnerable is that it's like such a high risk but high reward, you
Oh my
know?
God,
Like,
yeah.
you're putting yourself out there, but like the messages you get is like literally people trusting you with like their deep secrets because they
Yes.
understand you.
Yes. It's so crazy. The day after my birthday, I woke up and I was just like reading through messages laying in bed. And I was like crying. I was like, this is so crazy. Like, these people are telling me their like deepest, darkest thoughts, just trusting me with that. And I was like, wow, this is like it gave me a really happy feeling of like knowing that I could have potentially like helped someone.
Yeah, and you also just feel closer with your followers. Like, you feel like they
Yes.
know you, you
Yes,
know them.
I literally like just want to hug them all. They're like
Yeah,
my children.
I know. It's so cool. Yeah, like we're pretty open on our podcast about our
Yeah.
problems. Like, the messages we get like make it so worth it. Like,
So worth
sometimes
it.
like, do you ever get these moments where you kind of like want to delete everything off the internet? Like, this, like, it just gets in
Every
your
day.
head. Like, no, I can't do this. Everyone's watching me, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
But then like you see one message, you're like, actually, you kind of remember why
Yep.
you wanted to stay up there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That makes it really worth it. I'm so glad you decided to share that.
Me too.
And like, I think it's empowering, really.
Oh my God, yeah. It feels, I even said this on Twitter, it felt like I was taking my life back by posting that. Like, it wasn't this dark secret that I felt like I needed to hide from and not let anybody know. It was more of like, this is a part of what makes me who I am, and I'm not embarrassed or ashamed by it. I'm empowered by it.
Exactly. You think there was ever a certain point in your life where like you didn't like sharing that side? And you like showing like, oh, positivity only.
Weirdly, I've always been super vulnerable online. Like, I think it started on Tumblr. I was a big Tumblr gal, and Tumblr was just all a bunch of emo kids.
Yeah, it was.
So I thrived on Tumblr.
Yeah.
So it started there, and I just always kept that up because also growing up in Indiana and not really having a lot of friends, that was my outlet of where I could go to talk to people and express myself because I didn't really feel like I had anywhere else to do it. So I just got comfortable doing that.
Sharing your personal problems on Tumblr.
I was like, what's up, strangers? You want to hear about my trauma?
Yeah, that is like the early internet. That was all it was.
Tumblr. Tumblr especially. Want to hear what keeps me up at night?
Yeah. It goes viral, the post. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so that's cool. You were never like just positive only. Do you think? What do you think about that? Like the YouTubers and like influencers are just like positive vibes only. Only that. I'm never sad. Only positive.
I think there's pros and cons because like obviously it's good to just like only talk about
It's an
positive
escape.
stuff, but also at the same time there's like a fine line of portraying unrealistic lifestyles. Nobody's happy all the time. And if you're only looking at people that come off as happy all the time and you're not, then you start to be like, well, why am I not like that? What's wrong with me? So I think there should be a happy balance.
Yeah, I think fully positive sends the wrong message. It's like I get the intention, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like you said, you know, if they're always positive, you'll just start to compare yourself. Like, are they never sad? Maybe something's wrong with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially younger kids that are like more impressionable and they think like positive only. They like start thinking like, oh, I can't be sad then.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's important we're all vulnerable, and like I'm glad you're taking part of that because I think that's gonna be like the next phase of the internet. Like it's making a comeback from like the Tumblr
Let's
days.
go Tumblr.
Yeah, it's coming back with the vulnerability. Oh man, but so now I'm assuming you said you're doing better, right? You're going to a lot of therapy.
Yep.
And would you recommend therapy?
I love therapy.
Some people think it doesn't work.
I think everybody should go to therapy, and if you don't think therapy works, get a new therapist maybe, or try something else. I don't know. I think there's plenty different forms of therapy that don't always include a therapist. Like for me, therapy is like going to the beach and journaling or reading a book. Like that is therapeutic to me. I think you have to like try different things out and see what gives your mind peace or what brings you back down to earth and centers you, because everybody's different.
Yeah. Did you ever have a bad therapist?
I had a bad psychiatrist who just wanted
What's the difference?
they can prescribe medication.
Okay.
And she just wanted to like put me on a ton of medication. And I kept telling her, I was like, I don't want to like rely on medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, well, I know what to tell you. Bye.
Wow. So they're like separate from like a therapist?
Yeah.
It's not like one and the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What are your coping methods?
I read a lot.
Really?
I paint a lot. Painting, I have a studio in my house where I just like close the door, maybe smoke a little weed if I'm feeling crazy. If I got nothing else going on, put my phone away, and I love to just paint for hours.
Just paint.
Yeah, it's
And
awesome.
like, has weed helped your anxiety? Because I know that's a big.
It depends. I always make sure that if I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling depressed, I make sure not to smoke or drink because I don't ever want to be
Relying on it.
Exactly. But if I'm just like chilling, hanging out, I'm bored, I want to paint, then I'll smoke. I never use like a substance to bring myself down.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about the people that are like judging you for only making videos when you're like high or like drunk?
I've gotten that for so long.
I know.
And I've gotten people be like, you have an issue.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's so
well,
funny
no
though, because you
shit.
could like smoke like once a month, but
I
upload the video and
know.
people would be like, that's an issue, just because that's all they see.
That's what people said about drinking a lot. Because I had a phase when I first turned 21. I was like, oh my god, I can make drunk videos. This is awesome. And I've been waiting forever. And so I did like every video I did was like drunk Q&A, drunk makeup, anything you can imagine. Just add drinking to it. I did it. And people were like, you have an issue. And I was like, I mean, it was annoying at first, but it's also like you said, a video is 10 minutes long, and I upload like once every month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
like they never really know. Like you could totally not drink at all, just that one day for the video.
exactly.
Oh man, yeah. That's the thing about YouTube. Like people don't see all the sides of you. You know, like there's only so much one can see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did that ever like? Has there ever been like a really bad portrayal of you? Like, have you ever been in drama?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I've been pretty good about not ever being in drama because I'm just not a drama person. I don't like confrontation. It freaks me out. But I went on the Reality House recently.
What's
It's
that?
like a YouTuber. It's like The Real World on MTV. Do you know that show?
No.
You
No,
kids,
I think
you
I'm old.
kids.
Oh, young, too young.
I'm old.
I'm old. No.
I'm old. It's basically like you put a bunch of YouTubers in a house and there's cameras always running and you just let the drama unfold.
Really? And is that on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I've never seen it.
So I didn't come off too great in that. But at that time, what nobody knew was I was going through a lot mentally, and I actually ended up leaving the show early. And they made it look like Andrea left because she was bored because we didn't have our phones either. We were like cut off from the world. And I was drinking a lot in the house, and it just wasn't a good situation. So I removed myself from it, but it just came off wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so
People just gave you hate for it.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I'm not even gonna try to defend myself because I don't owe anyone an explanation, first of all. But it was also like personal stuff that I was going through that it is what it is.
Yeah. Dang. That seems so scary being like on YouTube because there's so many people watching you. And like you were pretty like big on YouTube, right? Like you were like up there with like the OG. Yeah, you were. Oh my gosh.
It's so weird to think about.
Like you were like back then when no one was there. Now like it's such a big thing.
It's so different now. It's crazy.
Yeah. You think if you saw YouTube now, would you still do it? Or you think it was just so much different back then? That it's
I don't know.
completely...
Yeah, because when I started it, it was like a creative outlet for me, and I was doing it for fun, and I was meeting people, and everybody wanted to like create with each other because it was fun, not because they could gain followers or get something from it. Where it feels like now everybody has ulterior motives. Where
It's like a video Tumblr back then.
Exactly. Yeah. If I could go back in time
To the old YouTube. Oh my gosh.
I miss it.
And what's it called? Have you ever thought about just like doing like music stuff on YouTube since like, you know, combine the two?
I think I'll probably upload my music videos to YouTube. I've thought about like uploading covers and stuff, but I'm also like so focused on original music and like busy writing and recording that kind of stuff that it's like
You want to like distance yourself from like the YouTube career?
Yeah. I took a year off to do that. But yeah, like I said, I've been uploading here and there.
Just for some reason.
You know, I don't know why.
Wow. Are you gonna what's it called? Are you kind of like worried about the fact that people are gonna like pull up the like, oh, she's trying to get into music,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a YouTuber, like her
It'll
career's
always be a
dead.
thing. I've said, even in meetings with like labels and music people, it's like I make it very clear that I wanted to take time off of YouTube so that I could be a musician and not, oh, there's another YouTuber doing music. And it doesn't help that some of these YouTubers who shall not be named are making music as a joke, and it goes like #1 on the charts, and people are like, great, so that's how we're looking at YouTubers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, God, I don't even want to be known as a YouTuber.
Anymore.
Y'all embarrassing me.
Yeah. I'm like, it must be hard though, but like you really gotta. I mean, I guess Filthy Frank did it, and Joji. He like was one of the successful YouTubers.
I mean,
too.
Troye Sivan.
Oh,
like,
that's true.
killed the
He
game.
was. Did you ever collaborate with him?
on YouTube?
Yeah.
I didn't collab on YouTube, but I went on tour with him and his family a few times, like
Really?
through Australia.
Wow.
So that was
Oh my
fun.
god, the YouTuber tour.
I know, Digi
The
tour.
OGs. Oh my god.
Yeah, those were the days.
Troye Sivan, Tyler Oakley, Connor
That's
Franta.
literally, that was the lineup.
That was the lineup.
That and O2L.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's so cool. How was the tours? How were the tours back then? I've always wondered. Were they fun or were they
They
kinda
were
like...
fun, but it was like, it was work. Like, we did 1,000 people meet and greets, where it would be like 4 hours of nonstop. And what people don't realize in meet and greets is like, we're on for 4 hours. Where like they walk up, get a picture, have a nice conversation, and then they're done. But we're doing that for 4 hours straight. So like, if we come off a little tired or just a tiny bit over it, it's like, Andrea's
You're
a
done.
fucking bitch, and I hate her,
Yeah.
and she hates all of us, and she doesn't appreciate her fans.
Oh my god, there's so much pressure. Like even like not comparable in any sense, but like we do like we one time we did like an Instagram live and it was like just an hour long because that's the limit.
Yeah.
And we were like we were like trying to like entertain, like be energetic in ourselves, and
Yeah.
afterwards we all felt so
Drained.
drained. Like it was just like I don't want to talk. Just like I
Dude,
don't want to be here. Just
drained is the perfect word. Like after 4 hours of meeting
yeah, I can't even
strangers,
imagine.
I remember
that.
everybody would just be in the green room for like 20 minutes, and we'd all be like, nobody fucking say a word.
Yeah.
We need like 20 minutes of silence. Everybody shut up.
And did you had to do that over and over again? Oh my god.
Every night.
That is so tough.
Yeah.
And also there's like stage that like whatever
Yeah,
like
and then we go
panels
right on
and stuff.
stage and do a big ass show of like running around to music.
Wow.
But it was fun. Like I'm so thankful for those memories.
Mm-hmm.
But it was exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even imagine how bad that must be. Like in terms of like energy, that's so crazy to me. Especially, are you like very extroverted? You seem like very like.
It depends. Like in settings like this where it's like a few people, I feel, and also you guys are like so disarming and welcoming, so I'm like chilling.
Yeah.
But in environments with a ton of people, I'm definitely like in my little shell.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
I guess are you like an ambivert?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would much rather be at home taking a bath than at a party, for sure. But that's not always. I feel like I've become that way in the last year.
Really?
Like I used to be out and about partying and like wanting to meet new people all the time, but I also don't drink anymore, so I'm just like.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I just like to like stay home, smoke a little weed and paint. I'm a grandma.
I'm
25.
I mean, I guess maybe because you're growing up too. That's why you're like not as outgoing, I guess.
I'm 25.
25, 5 years till 30.
Don't say that.
That could be so crazy how different your life could be in those 5 years. Like you could totally be like selling out like world tours.
I'm manifesting it.
Yeah, manifest. The energy's working
It's
towards
working,
you.
it's working. It has to.
So why did you stop drinking?
I noticed that when I was drinking, I had a lot more anxiety, and also alcohol is a depressant. And so there was times like right leading up to that night where it was like my darkest depression, I was drinking a ton, and it was like this cycle of like feeling really depressed, so I'm going to drink so I can like chill out, and then sobering up and feeling depressed from the alcohol. And it was just like this toxic cycle. And so I really wanted to like challenge myself to just stop drinking. Not to say that I'll never drink again, but for now, while I'm working on myself, I want to be clear-minded and just like
Be in a
give it my
good
all.
space when you like,
Yeah.
Wow. It's very interesting that like a lot of people start drinking and then they go sober, like.
Especially right now, I'm seeing so many people stop drinking because it's so easy to just overdo it during quarantine because
Yeah, there's
you're
nothing else
just
to do.
chilling at home. Why not?
Yeah.
Every day you crack one open a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what about like LA culture? Because I know some people like this is not for them. How was it for you?
I think when I first moved here, I loved it. Like I loved going out. I was like 19 in the clubs.
Yeah.
Like with my own table. Like it was ridiculous. And I had like a phase of just going out every night, but I mean, I'm a 25-year-old lady now, and I'm just kind of, it's just not my vibe anymore, really. Like I like to go out to eat at like 5 p.m., get home by 8, have a bath. So it was my thing at one time, but now I'm chilling out.
You weren't like very like, oh, everyone's fake here in LA. You think that's true?
I think there's fake people everywhere. I think the industry has more of that because people are people are willing to do not great things to get to where they want to be, which karma will get you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you just have to surround yourself with good people. And like for me, I don't care who I surround myself with, what they do, what their following is. That none of that matters to me as long as I know I can trust that person and they have my best interests at heart. But there's people that don't care about that. They would rather be seen with so and so because it looks good.
That must be so draining. I don't know how they can do it.
You're telling me. I just simply don't have the energy.
Like,
I'm 25.
I don't know how you could be around them and just like, just knowing.
It's
crazy.
draining.
Yeah, I bet. Like, and the fact that they probably don't even have like any real friends. Like, it must be lonely too.
Yeah.
It seems so tough.
I had a phase where I didn't really have any friends for a second, and so I was surrounding myself with people that I didn't really like, but it was, in my head, I thought it would be better to be surrounded by people I kind of liked rather than be alone. It wasn't. It was horrible. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to spend some time alone, figure out myself so that I can attract the kind of friends that I really want.
And did it work?
Totally worked.
Wow.
I have the best friends in the world now, and we all just look out for each other, encourage each other, want to see each other win. And that's just like it's priceless.
How did you guys meet each other? How did you like meet them?
Everybody knows everybody, I feel like, just through mutual friends. And it's kind of like when you click with someone, you just latch onto them. You're my friend now.
Yeah.
So yeah, just through mutual friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, a lot of people are very lonely in LA. And like the culture, the influencer culture especially. I think that's what people see, honestly. Just because they see a lot of influencers come here, use someone, and then like throw them away, and then on to the next.
Especially too with all the influencers, I feel like posting with each other and making it look like they're all just having their best time hanging out with this person, that person. But like behind closed doors, I mean, I can tell you, everybody, well, I can't speak for everybody, but like it's not what it looks like. Like there's a lot of drama, a lot of like people just posing for a photo.
That's it. And then they go on their ways. Oh, it's so scary.
I know.
Especially when you see like, like the Black Mirror shows, like you just see them like post for a picture so happy, and then like afterwards blank face.
It's literally a Black Mirror episode. YouTube in itself is a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Do you think was like the influencer culture bad back then? Like when you were around, was it like? You think it's gotten more toxic now?
It's definitely gotten more toxic now, especially because people are just getting younger and younger. Like the TikTokers. I swear to God, watching their drama is like looking into a time machine, and I'm like, girl.
Don't
delete
do
the
it.
Tweet. I'm telling you.
Delete the tweet.
It's not worth it. But yeah, it's definitely gotten worse. I mean, I definitely had my subtweeting days, but it was never like, I was never making like entire YouTube videos being like, she said this and I have the receipts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe people do that too.
I know.
So publicly. Like, it just shows that they're not like actual friends. Because I just cannot imagine just outing your friend like that. That's like just.
And then monetizing the video.
Yeah. This video is sponsored by. Yeah. Oh my God. That's so funny. Yeah, no, I could not imagine that. But
yeah,
I guess that's the industry. People just are willing to do what it takes to get on top.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think that's just a moral dilemma, like what you're willing to do, especially in here. Because it is a tough industry, especially in music.
Oh
I mean, it's tough.
I also just genuinely believe that like good people will make it eventually, and everybody's on their own timeline too, and it's so easy to compare yourself like somebody that started at the same time as you and is now blowing up but you're not. Like it's so hard to see that and be like, well, why am I not? But everybody's on their own timeline, everybody's on their own process, and like that's the number one thing that you just have to trust and like remind yourself of.
Hope it works.
Yeah.
You went to VidCon, right? Like a couple times.
Oh my God, all of them.
Oh my, what was VidCon like?
A lot of drinking. Literally, it's just every YouTuber goes there. Last VidCon I went to, legitimately, the second we got there until the second we left, I was drunk. It was too much.
It's just like a big party for YouTubers, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's the fans too.
Yeah, and I did my meet and greet a little tipsy.
Oh my God. I mean, probably makes it easier though.
It does. It lets your guard down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was really anxious.
What was the last time you went?
It was, so the last one would have been during quarantine, so that I did a virtual meet and greet. But the one before that, so like 2 years
Oh
ago.
yeah, because the VidCon. Oh, they still did like virtual stuff.
It was weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was like FaceTiming, and then you're like, okay, take a screenshot.
That's so.
I was like, this
That's so
ain't
weird.
it. This
That's
ain't
so
it.
weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's about it. You're like working on music now. Excited for that. Whenever it
Very
comes out,
excited.
let us know. Promote
Definitely.
you. Stream it on the
You
radio.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you have going on? Anything cool?
I mean, just, the music. I literally every time someone's like, what have you been up to? I'm like, quarantining.
Quarantine.
You
The
know,
usual.
Surviving. Trying my best every day.
I mean, it's kind of nice for music though. No,
It
like,
is.
You
It
just
is.
Be yourself.
I'm choosing to look at it as a blessing in disguise, to have more time to just like perfect everything so that it's ready.
Yeah. Very nice. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you, Andrea, for joining us.
Woo!
Woo! All right. That's a wrap.